Hey guys, so it is the first coffee chat of 2018. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna do one of these last Sunday, the last one of 2017, and then I just didn't do it because I didn't feel like it. Yeah, so this is the first one of the new year, and hopefully I can do these like every Sunday or close enough. I may have to skip a few because of things like going on a cruise and going to Dallas and stuff like that. Because, yes, I'm going to be traveling a pretty good bit in the new year, so yay. I really like traveling. Of course, two of the trips I'll be taking by myself, and I don't normally travel alone, so it's gonna be really weird. But I'm still looking forward to it. So what's been going on? Well, so I guess first I can talk about things that happened last year at the end of the year. Since, yeah, I did my Vlogmas and then I didn't vlog again until right now. So I guess I should fill you guys in on what happened between those times. So, the big thing that happened is my car broke down. So remember when I was talking about Christmas Eve and what I did and that my car wouldn't start and my cousin seemed to have fixed it? Well, he didn't fix it, but it wasn't something that he could like easily fix anyway. So I got back to my apartment after Christmas was over and I decided, you know what, I need some groceries. So I went to the grocery store and got all of my groceries and went out to get in my car and tried to crank it and nothing happened. So yeah, I couldn't start my car and I didn't have anyone to call because I could have called my mom or my dad or, somebody like that, but they live an hour away from me. So, yeah, that wasn't really much of an option. I could have called Kevin, but Kevin was at the beach, which is not close at all. Hours away, so there was no point in even calling him. I wasn't sure if any of my other friends were in town. I guess I could have tried to call one of them, but the only one I could think of was probably in Ohio at the time. So I was kind of just standing there thinking, what the heck am I gonna do? I can't crank my car. I almost cried because I didn't know what to do. And then I realized the bar that I used to go to all the time, the one where I met Kevin and the one where we had like our after party after our wedding and all these different things, that bar was just down the street. So even though I haven't been there since like October, I decided I'm gonna go down to that bar and I'm gonna see if anybody is in there that can help me, because I know a lot of people who still go there and I was just hoping, crossing my fingers, that somebody there could help. So I walked in and I immediately see three people that I know. One of them had no idea what to do. The next one said that if he needed to give me a ride home, he would. And the third one said that he would help me jump off my car and see if that could help or see if he could figure out what was going on. So he went back to the parking lot with me, and the other people were on standby just in case I needed a ride or whatever. And he looked at my car. He couldn't really figure out what was wrong with it. So he decided to try jumping me off, and that didn't do anything. Nothing worked at all. Nothing happened. Luckily, while we were standing there and he was scratching his head trying to figure out what was going on, he got a phone call. And the phone call was from a friend of his who is a mechanic. And he was about 4 minutes away from where we were. He had his girlfriend with him, and while I didn't know him, I did know his girlfriend, so I felt a little bit better about being there with a stranger working on my car. So yeah, he tested out some things and realized that it was the starter. My starter had completely stopped working. So of course I couldn't start my engine if my starter wasn't working. So he replaced it for me right there in the parking lot of the grocery store. Of course we had to go get the part and everything, but that was fine. And he also replaced my air filter, which was great because it was disgusting and needed to be replaced. Of course, while he was putting everything back in where it was supposed to go, the vacuum line split because apparently it had dry rot. So it split while he was putting it back onto the spot where it's supposed to go. And he said, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. It might give you some problems with your gas mileage, but that's probably the only big deal you're gonna have with it. So since he had fixed everything else, I was like, okay, thank you, and paid him and left. And of course, as I was driving home, my car tried to stall on me several times. And I got home, luckily, because I wasn't that far away, and immediately called him. So he was like, well, I didn't expect that to be quite as big of a problem as it is, but I'll fix it for you tomorrow. I'll give you a call in the morning and we'll, find a place to fix it. And so I was like, okay, great, that sounds wonderful. So he called the next morning and said he would go ahead and fix the vacuum line for me. And while he was doing that, he would also go ahead and give me an oil change because I had mentioned it the night before that I needed one. So I was like, okay, that sounds great. That's perfect. Where do I need to meet you? Because I can't do an oil change in my parking lot at my apartment because it is against my lease. Because I did look it up because I was like, I think I remember something about this. So he told me the directions to where he works on cars, his little garage and everything. So I was like, okay, I can get there, but I needed to stop by the ATM first because I didn't have very much cash. So I headed off to the bank and went through the ATM and stopped and got my money, and my car would not start again. It stalled and it would not start. So I was stuck in the ATM lane at my bank and I had no idea what to do. So I was like, well, should I go into the bank and ask some of these bankers to come out and help me push my car out of the way? But luckily I saw like right next door that they were doing some construction work. So I went over and I actually got a construction worker to come over and help me push my car out of the ATM lane. Yeah, that was fun. But we got it out of the way. And just as I was about to call the guy and tell him that I was stuck there at the bank and I couldn't crank my car, he called me, so it was like perfect timing. So I answer and he's like, you're not here yet. I'm getting kind of worried. And so I told him what had happened and he said, it's okay. I'll come pick you up. We'll go get the vacuum line. We'll fix that. Then you can drive to the garage and I'll do your oil change there. So I was like, okay, this sounds wonderful. So that's what we did. And it worked. And so now my car is fixed. It was a ridiculous day. And of course, it was the one day in the whole vacation that I had that I was like, okay, today I'm going to play video games with my friends. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. And then I didn't get back home until like, I don't know, 5 o'clock. But I did get to play video games with my friends. So that was all that mattered. Plus my car got fixed. And now I have a mechanic friend who can fix my car again if anything else happens. Yay! Perfect. And of course, during all of this, I had Maggie and Wilson, my cat and my dog. And I don't normally get Maggie. I get Wilson a lot, like every other week or so. And I don't get Maggie very often though. But since Kevin was at the beach, as I said, I got to keep her. The thing is, Maggie likes to drink out of the sink, and I will not let her drink out of the sink. She likes to have like flowing water, and I won't let her do that here at my apartment. Well, we had a cold snap. So since we were under a hard freeze warning, I had to let my faucets drip overnight so that my pipes wouldn't freeze. Because in the South, we have to do stuff like that because the insulation is not quite as good in the South as it is apparently in the North, because I'm guessing Northerners do not have to worry about this. But anyway, Southerners do. So I had to have my faucets dripping every night, or not every night, but like 3 or 4 of the nights while they were here. And Maggie apparently figured this out, and she jumped into the tub and started drinking out of the faucet in the tub. Which was really funny, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of cute. So she got around the no drinking from the faucets rule in my apartment briefly, but she's gonna be very disappointed the next time she shows up here and it's not cold and I'm not having to let my faucets drip in the tub, because she's gonna get in there and be like, what? Where's my water? So my hair is getting really long. I need to get that cut, but yeah. I had a dream that I went and got a haircut. I guess that means that I should probably do that at some point. Since I read a lot, I've decided that I'm going to read at least 1 book per week. So yeah, I already read my book for last week, which was, what was it called? Real Murders by Charlene Harris. It is part of the Aurora Teagarden mystery series. It's the first book, and I actually got it from Kindle Unlimited, so it was free if you have Kindle Unlimited. So I read that. And of course, that's the only one of those books that is free. So I have to get the others in the series from the library. And of course, they don't have like book number 4 in the series. So what the heck am I going to do about that? I don't know. I may have to shell out like $7 just to get it online. So I read that one. That was my first book of the year. And I'm going to read a bunch of the other ones in the series. But first, before I get to those, I am reading the new book by the author who wrote The Martian. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Andy Weir, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, but he has a new book called Artemis, and I am reading that one. And where The Martian took place on Mars, duh, Artemis takes place on the moon, and Artemis is the name of the first colony on the moon. And I'm not very far into it. I think I'm about to start chapter 3, but I'm liking it so far. It's pretty good. So yeah, that is what I'm currently reading. I also have a couple of other books. So I have like the next 2 books in the Aurora Teagarden mystery series. And then I have, what else do I have? I have Ready Player One, which I still haven't read. I have Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which I also haven't read yet, even though I have a signed copy of it, but I haven't read it. So I have those. I still have a couple of other books back there that I haven't read, and I have some books that I've checked out from the library. I have 2 Star Wars books, Bloodlines and Lost Stars, I think are the 2 that I have. And then I went out yesterday and I bought some more books. Not too many, only like 4, I think. But I went to the used bookstore and grabbed some books there because I was looking for the Aurora Teagarden book that is not at the library, because I was hoping maybe one of the used bookstores had it, but they didn't. So yeah, I got a couple of other things instead, but I forgot what I got. Okay, I had to go check what it was. It was Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I've seen the movie version of it, and I've kind of wanted to read the book version of it for a long time, and they didn't have a copy of it at the library for years, so I never got to read it. And of course, now they have a copy after I just bought it, because I checked. But yeah, an ex-boyfriend of mine recommended it to me years and years and years ago, and I never got a chance to read it. And I know there's a bunch in the series, but yeah, I don't know how far into the series I'm gonna get. There's also a new Dan Brown, Robert Langdon book, which is like the whole Angels and Demons and Da Vinci Code and Inferno and all that stuff. Yeah, the 5th book in that, Origins, is out now, and I saw it at the library yesterday, and I wanted to check it out, but I already have Artemis, and they have these quick pick books there, and the quick pick books you can only have for a week at a time. So I didn't get Origins, which is a quick pick book, because I already have Artemis, which is a quick pick book, and I only have it for a week, which means it has to go back Wednesday. I'm not going to be able to finish that by Wednesday, but I'm going to get as far into it as I can and then turn it in, and if there's another copy of it there, I will pick up that copy, and if not, I will get Origins maybe. I don't know. I may wait and read that one after I read, you know, the other 10 books that I have on my list. But I was really hoping that I could read Artemis in a week, because I know that when I read The Martian, I read like half of it, or possibly over half of it, just in one day because I was so into it. So we'll see how it goes. Last night, or yesterday, whatever you want to say, I auditioned for some more voice acting things, just 4 of them, and most of them were very like short projects, but one of them I auditioned for was a Wicked fan cover. So basically someone wanted to do all of the songs from Wicked, and with different people. And normally when there are projects like that, it's a girl who wants to be Elphaba or Galinda, and they decide that, you know, I want to have the main role and I'll have all the other roles available for someone else. But this person is a guy and wanted to play Fiero, which is kind of cool. But of course, by the time I saw it, Elphaba, the character that I would want to be, was already taken, which is fine, because I don't think I can belt out the songs like some people can. So Nessa Rose was still available, so I auditioned to be Nessa Rose, and I got the part. So that was one of the first things I saw this morning when I woke up, was that I had gotten the part of Nessa Rose. So yay, I'll get to do that. But it's kind of a small part, but I get to sing, so yay. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. But I auditioned for 4 things, and I got that one. The other 3, I have no idea. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I've been talking for a long time. My coffee has gotten cold, and I guess I'll go ahead and say goodbye, because I can't think of anything else to talk about, and I've talked about a lot. And yeah, if you can think of anything that you would like to hear, sure, let me know, whatever. I don't know how to end these things. So hopefully I will see you guys next Sunday for the next coffee chat. Until then, bye.